Ooh, welcome, man. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Real quick, guys, I am being beat up on bad, guys. This is the Grand Cherokee. Y'all remember part one where I diagnosed it ended up needing a transmission, and part two, I ended up. Well, they got me a transmission, but let me back up a little bit. They ended up getting me a used transmission. We gotta install whatever the insurance company either send us or approve for us to install. Naturally, we're gonna write up a brand new transmission, okay? But sometimes that can be out of the budget, sometimes that can be out of the range, sometimes that cannot be available. At either rate, we ended up with a used transmission. Okay, now y'all saw the clip where the guy rolling it down to my stall. I'm happy. Let me go ahead and knock this out, make that money, and everybody be happy. Well, the last video I saw, the transmission was installed. Guys, let me say this. Before I did anything, I let the car down after installing the transmission. Push start it up, check engine lights and everything gonna be on. Guys, that's simply because this is an electronic transmission. Okay, so all that check engine light and all that stuff was on because I hadn't programmed that transmission. And when I say transmission, I'm talking about module actually, but because the module is inside the transmission, I'm just basically saying transmission. Okay, you really can't, I don't know how you can program a piece of hardware, a transmission to a car. You basically programming the controller. But like I say, in this case, the controller is the transmission. All right. I got it in. I got the transmission in. I sat down. I went to start it. Started fine. Boom, and lights on. Oh, I forgot. I haven't programmed it yet. Guys, I go to program this car, or program the controller to program the new transmission to the car. After I did that, guys, I get this. Absolutely nothing. Okay, I'm in the run. I will not start. Now, the number one codes that pop up, guys, is shifter. No communication from the shifter. All right, and I'm going, wait a minute. How is it possible that I'm not getting communication from the shifter when I didn't have this problem at first? Well, that's where the drummer lies in. And mind you, I got this out. I'm about to replace this. I'm about to recommend replace this. But then it dawned on me again, JT, stop. Whoosah. You didn't have a shifter problem when you brought the car in. Okay? I got guys, luckily we didn't have one. Let me say that. We didn't have one in stock. This shifter is about $300-$400. I was about to replace it. I'm in panic mode, guys. Sometimes you gotta come out of panic mode and chill out for a minute. I'm in panic mode. How in the world can I install the transmission? Now it won't start. Everybody's uptight. The customer want their car. It's not ready. I promised it would be ready because I knew what all else I had to do. Well, we at this standpoint, and lo and behold, no, JT, stop. Chances are this is not the problem. Even though the only specific code I'm getting is no communication from shifter. Guys, if you have an electronic transmission, it's looking for the shifter inputs. It has to know if you're in park, neutral, or drive. You're not going to be allowed to crank the car in drive or reverse. Okay, that is a safety feature put in place by manufacturers. But however, if the shifter is seen to be in park or neutral, you can crank it. Well, because those are the only code I'm not getting crank. Why am I not getting crank? We'll talk some more, guys. Let me take a break because I'm going to go pull up my scan tool and show y'all the data that I was getting and the reason why I'm not cranking. It all boils back down to that used transmission I got, guys. Okay? You don't want to miss this. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. All right, guys. Here we go. This is what I want to show you, okay? This is the Grand Cherokee. Now, here's the TCM. Let's go look at this. Here's all the codes I'm getting. Okay, and guys, look at this. These are active, meaning this is present now. I'm never going to get crank as long as I'm not getting communication with the shifter. All right, there was another code in here. Okay, ECM, this is the shifter. I had it unplugged. That's stored. So technically, I can erase this and it will not come back because I have it plugged up. I obviously unplugged it with the ignition on. So let's try this. I'm going to erase this Clear DTCs. See that? It ain't going nowhere simply because it's active. Now, let me show y'all something, guys. Here's what you can do. I'm trying to reframe. Let me do this. Let's go under transmission. I want to show y'all something what led me to this. Configuration. There's an option you can go into configuration. No, I want to see details. Details, if you're going to details, remember this is an electronic transmission, guys. Now I'm going to blur these VINs out. But guys, you can see VIN original and VIN current. Because I flashed it, the VIN current going to be the VIN that's actually on your car. Okay. The original VIN will show the VIN of the vehicle it came out of. Right? That's where we having, that's what a breakdown in communication is. Now they can be different, but the features have to be the same. Okay, so what I did was cross-referenced this VIN, the original VIN, and it turned out that transmission came out of a 14 Durango. Now, an 8-speed in a 14 Durango and an 8-speed in a Grand Cherokee basically gonna be the same. But it's the features, guys. The features are different. The shifter in that Durango is not the same shifter in this Grand Cherokee. That's why I'm getting this code. That's why I'm not cranking. Okay, remember, this is a used transmission. It was programmed to the vehicle that it came out of. All right, so yes, I would have wasted $400 by replacing that shifter when it doesn't need it. So guys, the long gone. Let's go over to the transmission and talk some more. I wanna explain something to you. Alrighty, guys. Here's the transmission I took out of. Okay, this is the 8-speed ZF rear drive transmission. Now, they all gonna have tags on them, ID tags on them, and things that. This is an 8-speed out of another. I think this was a car. Okay, but like I said earlier, you can cross-reference these numbers, and they probably could end up on the same vehicle, meaning that Durango that originally came out and this Grand Cherokee. When you get ready to flash it, that's when you marry it to the car. Okay. So technically, I put in a transmission that would work, but because the features that's programmed in the controller is not the same, it's making the whole transmission worthless, guys. Totally worthless. So I went through all of that to install a transmission that come out of a different vehicle with different features. Right? So now I have one or two options. I can replace that transmission again with one that come out of the same, or I can remove this valve body and stick in the car, in the current car. Only problem with that is this transmission has shifting problem. The valve body has major control over shifting, guys. You will be taking a super chance by doing that. This transmission was bumping in and out of gear. The valve body plays a major role in that. So it is extremely risky to take the valve body out of here and put it in that car just to get it to crank and go. I still may have shifter problem. So I'm actually stuck. I got to figure out. Now, a new transmission, the ZF 8 HP transmission, I don't know, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, I don't know. But in the valve body, it's hard to get one right now. And if you're going to get one, you got to make sure it's clear or it's naked or it's new. It needs to be new so you can program it to the vehicle you're working on. Because if you get a used valve body, guys, it's already programmed to the vehicle it came out of. I guess what you can do is make sure it have the same features. All right. Yeah, let's go back in the car so I can wrap this up, guys. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Righty, guys. So that's where we at, guys. Ain't no sense in leaving this on. This ain't going nowhere. And it didn't happen until I flashed it. So technically, had I not flashed it, I probably would have been able to shift. I just would have had a bunch of lights on, which is counterproductive, right? The customer want their car to shift as well as these warning lights off. So guys, I guess the moral of the story is the days are slowly dwindling away where we can just yank out a piece of hardware from any old vehicle and stick in another one. Okay, now you can't even just yank an engine out of a car and put in another car, even if it's the same. All right, there's a lot of programming you have to do, guys. Transmission is really that way because they are now electronic. The modules are inside the transmission, not bolted to the firewall or anything like that. So, guys, If in the future, if you swapping out things, swapping out stuff, make sure this stuff is compatible, and always get the VIN off the vehicle that the component came out of. Now, technically, I don't really need the VIN because I can see it electronically. Remember, my scan tool, it'll show original VIN and it'll show current VIN. This is the current VIN that is showing in this vehicle. Original VIN, I cross-referenced that and it came out to a 14 Durango. Like I said earlier, the same. 8-speed is an 8-speed, okay? Who knows? That Durango might have been equipped with an external transcooler on the transmission. All right, some models was like that. So all of this stuff matters. So long gone or long dwindling away is the features or the options we had to just simply swap out things. So these aftermarket shops, y'all in trouble, guys, because hey, swapping out engines, we still in good grace with that right now. But as far as transmission, electronic transmission, it's getting harder and harder, guys. I gotta wrap this video up. I'm stuck. I'm finna push this car outside that I just replaced the transmission on, simply because of electronics. Okay, there's nothing wrong with the shifter. There's something wrong with the transmission that I install. It doesn't apply to this vehicle. And how do I know that? Electronics. I hope y'all got some out of this video, man. Any questions, leave in the comment. All right, guys, that's all I have. Thanks for watching.